Oh, that place is uncontrolled construction.
I'm not doing the work.
Who is doing the work?
She's doing. Where is she going? Rhea.
Oh, this is Rhea. Okay.
She's Rhea.
Rhea. Okay.
So about 68 corporates at present have contributed, like CSR and volunteering also. And so I'll just give you one example. Genpact, Shuru se they have been helping out, and every plantation season they sponsor the saplings, and they even encourage their employees to come and help with the plantation drive. And then end में they'll be like sending an email, nice email, yeah, we're helping green the planet. So I am Gurgaon has many sites now, so they are doing great work. Can we take a look at that tree down there? The pink one? Like a mauve color, yeah. Weeping willow, I think, या rhododendron वैसे जैसा leaves है. तो वो ना एक particular soil type में grow करता है, and it accumulates those salts from that patch. In a season, that salt just comes to the tips, leaves के. So that's why it looks like this.
Wow. The salt comes to the
Yeah, because it's like in a particular soil type, so it will just suck in, and particular time pe just it comes to the tips.
What's it called?
Forgetting the name. Very complicated site.
Kulu tree.
Kulu tree.
K-U-L-U?
K-U-double-L-U.
Like the place.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Well, the place is no more. That's all you see now.
ठीक है. तो ये so in English it's known as a ghost tree.
Oh, no.
Any ideas why?
Maybe because the leaves turn that way.
At night it might be looking.
Okay. Close.
Maybe because the leaves look like this somehow.
No leaves. No.
It shines at night.
Yeah.
The bark
So
shines.
when it grows, it will become bigger. The bark will become white.
Oh.
So that's why it's called as a ghost tree. So it sort of चमकता है रात को. And there's a bigger tree on our way back near the amphitheater, so we can have a better look at it. तो when it grows ना, इसके जो branches होते हैं, they become all crooked. तो winter time में, like before spring, when it shed its leaves, people also call it like the frozen ballerina. So ऐसे.
Is it the gum tree?
Not this one.
That is
the
also called the
salad.
ghost tree, I think.
That is okay. This is definitely called the ghost tree, and this mostly colonizes rocky terrain. So in MP, especially, you will see a lot of these there.
But if it does so well in a rocky terrain with such big leaves,
Yeah.
it needs a lot of water, isn't it?
Yeah, so that's probably why it's shedding its leaves during those months.
Okay.
Also.
Because the
क्योंकि-
whole concept of having these leaves in this
The-
kind of terrain is because there's less water.
Right.
So how does this survive?
So like I told you ना, mahua and this Madhya
Yeah.
Pradesh में
Yeah.
बहुत मिलता है. So specifically Aravalli में उतना dominant नहीं.
Oh, अच्छा, this one is
हाँ,
good.
और तो क्या है, when most of winters it will not have leaves. Most of the summers इसके ना flowers and fruits होते हैं just at the tip. That's also very pretty. So
What? I didn't get it. Sorry.
So this is that. Yeah, babool toothpaste. So so this is that. That's the discussion. But this is fine. This leaf is very very good for this region. Babool grows well in Rajasthan, and therefore does well here as well. And it has these thorns which protect it from animals. So this is a great example of a tree. So the key, coincidentally, it's a very similar, the one which we see, which is kind of taken over the place, is very similar to this, right? It's very similar to this, but that is the Mexican variety which the British got. And in all, to be very fair, they didn't have malintent. They just said, "Ye to kabhi, it's all evergreen. Laga dete isko. This will just kind of spread by itself." And that's what ended up happening and taking over a lot of our biodiversity. It's an invasive species. This one is a native one. That one is a relative of this, but very dangerous because it's not from here. So this is our.
Hard to recognize without flowers. But it has like bell-like flowers and उसमें ना दो pink lines होती है. So it is like a runway for pollinators. Yeah. So this is Adusa. Can anybody tell me what goats eat in general? Sorry, what? Goats. Ghas patte. Generally like anything. So somehow this is one plant they avoid. So the scientific name is Adathoda vasica. It literally translates to the goat doesn't eat. Yeah.
And why is that?
It just doesn't eat. Yeah.
It doesn't like the taste, maybe.
Yeah.
We have used the flowers as offering to one god.
Yes.
Right? Why? This is not Dhatura, but there is a similar story to that. Why?
I'm not aware, but I've seen
It's
it.
poison and Shiv can
only
only, he can digest poison. So it's given to that god. So again, something which has been there in our stories for so long is obviously natural. This was removed. So then, as she said, then they realized that milkweed is an extremely important place for the butterflies. So especially the plain tiger. So then it started getting planted again. So what do we think? If we want, so butterflies are very important pollinators. We need to have more of them. How can we encourage more butterflies into our spaces? What should we plant?
We should plant the trees that they want to sit on and lay there.
Yes. And what do you think they want to sit on and lay eggs on? What are some of the simple plants we can put? Powder puff is a great one for bees. You've seen that. That's why you're saying yes. Great point. Yes, you can put that for bees. Any other broad-leafed plants? Maybe some of them. We simply need to go back to our local
Native plants.
Native plants. Tulsi. Put a tulsi and see the number of pollinators which come on that little thing which comes out with the flowers. Kadi patta. Kadi patta is a great one for the common mormon which he was talking about. This big, huge black butterfly. Put a kadi patta. Put any citrus plant, any nimbu. You will see how they flock to that. So so there is a butterfly called lime. So it loves the citrus plant. So just put the plants that you will use in your kitchen, and they will attract butterflies. Compared to our thought that what do we normally think will attract butterflies? Flowers. But flowers are not local to. Only flowers which are local to our kind of hot country are the ones on the trees. There are some, of course there are some, even this has flowers, right? But usually they are weeds and usually we've been removing them. But you leave it like this, you will see butterflies. Today we will not see any butterflies because of this.
They're all over, so you can come early also. No, this one. Acha, so you all have observed the flower. तो इसका जो fruit बनता है ना, it's the same size, but it's like a wooden rose. Like a tiny wooden rose.
Tiny wooden?
Rose. तो कोई Ranthambore या सरिस्का गया? So have you observed what kind of forest or which?
We went
Unfortunately,
to look
no.
for the tiger, not
Yeah.
for the foliage.
So you had a bad naturalist then.
Yes, I am a bad naturalist.
Not you have hired a bad naturalist.
That too.
So Sariska and Ranthambore, they both are predominantly made of this species, Dho or Dho. you know, in some seasons the leaves just become silver.
Wow.
Very pretty. And इनका वो है कि ये slopes पे they do very well.
Okay.
So even while this biodiversity park was being planned, you know, they did it in a very sensible way. Ki, you know, which species would do better in which kind of topography and all. So there's a hill which we can't go there, which we won't be able to go there today. But the entire slope is covered with her.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is a very, very important tree which is actually extincting now
Okay.
from mangar. So they
Oh,
are trying
yes,
to,
yes. Would you like to talk about mangar? Like,
I don't know much about
No,
it. So why don't you talk about it?
okay, sacred groves ahead. So insects, they are sort of cold-blooded. So they need sunlight to become more active and have energy. So because of this weather, it's not resisting. So late mornings are a good time to go see butterflies instead of early morning. So
All of you've seen this before who've come from a walk? Yes, you have.
Many times.
Many times. So yes, so what do you think you could do with this? Have a look. You've also seen it, Anya. No, what do you, just look at, what could you do?
Floral paintings, patterns.
Right. Good student.
Yes.
So you could do that. So it's nice and hard.
Hard.
So you just do all of that. So this is a weed, and if you had come on a day when there was sun, you would see huge amount of insects on it, and butterflies and so on. Incidentally, this has it. So it's called the Chinese velvet leaf, right? So it says Chinese, and here we're talking about local and how it should be local. But then when we say local, we can't be talking about geographical boundaries. We're talking about ecological boundaries, right? So it may be coming from a part of China or something which kind of is similar to here and therefore is doing very well, right? So it's that. So while it is a weed, it's not local. It has come from elsewhere. It's doing superbly well. Look
It
at
doesn't have a local name.
It doesn't have a local name.
It has
Because-
orange color flower also.
Yes, and then if you come after a month, you will not see any flowers, nothing, only this.
Oh.
And like a rattle. Yeah, so the whole this thing will be full of that. So weeds we don't bother naming, no?
Yeah.
Should be cut and thrown.
Cut and thrown. Of
Yeah,
course.
yeah.
Why
So
the
dirty,
velvet
ugly.
is there? I mean, texture doesn't seem
I
like
think
velvet.
the leaf may be the reason why the name is that.
No, it is, you know, if you
It
look
is?
at the texture.
Oh,
it
the
is
way,
bit
yeah, when it,
velvet.
see, feel this, Robin, feel this. Feel when it is not
Yeah.
yet.
Ah,
It
yeah.
has
This
that.
is velvet.
Chinese velvet. This thing it is.
Yeah, that's what we're saying. Managed to lose from this planet. No.
Oh, 60%.
No.
It's higher.
Yeah, so biodiversity like lost, wiped out from this earth. So it's 70%, 69 to 70% of the earth's biodiversity has been wiped out by us. It's not happened through some intervention from the moon. We've done it, right? And 80% in the waters. Because a lot of our biodiversity is in the water, and with us heating it constantly, we are continuing to disastrously reduce the. Yeah, we are constantly bleaching the corals, as you would be hearing so much about the coral bleaching. Coral bleaching in itself is not the thing. It's a fact that it houses millions of species, and we are kind of wiping that out. This is one of the things we can do to bring back biodiversity. Allow it to grow wild. Allow it to grow wild. So even in your little home gardens, don't be scared of weeds. Weeds are good. In your pots, don't be scared of weeds. In your pots, you know, there are these malis who come in there, and that's why I don't keep a mali. Come and yank out all the weeds. Be careful. You don't have, look, I know pots are very limited spaces and you want to yank out everything except the pretty plant you put, but be a little gentle. See that you don't yank out all of them.
They say it sucks the nutrition away. Is it true?
They just all live together. I mean, they kind of see, the weed is not going to come if it doesn't have a symbiotic relationship over there. It's not going to come.
Okay.
It's not going to. There are some invasive weeds, of course, like the Singapore daisy just behind you. Yeah, that's a little bit of an invasive.
So I want to ask you, Chelly,
Yeah.
there is one particular, it's like a stringy.
Really not much.
because of the trees.
Argent trees.
है पर वहाँ है
हाँ अर्जुन फुल है पूरा अर्जुन
अच्छा बिकॉज आई वाज टोल्ड वहाँ जाके आप बड़े चीप कपड़े खरीद सकते हो कपड़े दाम से
अर्जुन की बात कर
तो
सिरसा के लोगों को पता होना चाहिए
तो गुड़गांव में many roads are somehow they planned it they have named them after trees and plants. So we have Kachinar Lane, DLFC has Cirrus Lane,
अर्जुन
Munsari. Yeah.
Lebanon is named after the tree, golden shah.
This brush होता है ना जिसे मेकअप लगाते हैं blusher. Yeah, so it's
powder puff
yeah.
yellowish in color
This one is yellowish white. This one powder puff I think is
red
pink.
yes yeah
Red or pink. So yeah, this has yellowish flowers. Otherwise you can recognize it with these spots. They'll turn brown. So seeds mature जब हो जाते हैं.
ये ऊपर ही ब्राउन हो जाता है ना ये थोड़ा सा
Yes.
Tree, look at the tree. The tree is so beautiful.
नीचे गिरे हुए ब्राउन कलर
Brown, yeah. And so you know avantas? The yellow.
golden
So उसका seeds like a bit different.
नीचे गिरे हुए ब्राउन कलर
Brown, yeah. And so you know avantas? The yellow.
golden
So उसका seeds like a bit different.
कीड़े तो survive कर जाएंगे they will find a mechanism but we will take 3 generations to be able to deal with that pesticide so yeah so that's please love कीड़ास
Pansy, blue pansy, butterflies. So अगर आप कभी गूगल भी करोगे ना so you will notice कि जैसे peacock का feather का एक pattern होता है that oval shaped one that will be present on their wing. So, like that. Yeah.
I think grey pansy is not seen here, no?
I haven't heard of it.
Grey pansy is only in the south. This must be the pansy.
Talking of that, so there's a bird. Okay, so we have a robin here. We need like a Jacobin now. This is called the Jacobin cuckoo. This bird migrates from the south to the north, and it comes just before the monsoon starts. So you can find it here. So it's also known as the harbinger of monsoon. क्योंकि वो उस टाइम पे आती है.
Migrate for what?
where it looks like an eye any idea right absolutely because the predator will want to eat what part of the insect the body or the head right wings खा के तो उसको कुछ नहीं मिलेगा so that's what it tries to do if you have a look here also that part is damaged because some predator has tried to bite it but it really doesn't matter because it's a part of the wings the whole purpose of the butterfly is to propagate it will manage to still do that it will stay alive till it propagates right but its body is saved a lot of butterflies from now on you observe they will have something at the end it looks like either like like eyes so that the birds get confused and they go and bite that so that is such an intelligence
fly away when it
Okay, hello. So everyone's taken a look at this. Can we see like small patches of grey rocks and then there's this brownish, reddish brownish mostly. Yeah. So Aravallis are basically known as fold mountains. So similar to Himalaya, जैसे plate tectonics clash हुए वो बने. Aravallis were initially also formed in a similar way. But then what happened was that range, it kept folding. Not one, it kept folding. So for geologists or for scientists, we usually study mountains or hills, in stratas होते हैं कि इस time के बाद metamorphosis हुआ तो time calculation हो सकती है. But it's very difficult when you have so many folds. So because of that, you have different kinds of minerals here like this.
okay sorry before we take the route back which which Rhea has promised we will take the route back. Right? We're going back.
But a different way.
मतलब जाएंगे ना वापस. Okay. Fine. So while before we're enjoying this beautiful space, you know it's been under threat. Rhea has spoken about how it's a citizen movement. There's been huge protests against roads being made through this, right? That is this part of that. There is also the Mangar, which you can add on to if you want. Rhea can add on to how it's a sacred grove, how that is under huge threat. Are you aware of what is being planned for our Aravallis in Mangar, the Mangar forest? No. Are you? Okay, so the plan is to make it into a safari zoo. Okay, now the point is this, that we understand development, we understand it's important, but it takes hundreds of years for such ecosystems to grow, and this one is still new. That one is actually hundreds of years old, that Mangar. So please, if you want to contribute to this cause of saving the Aravallis, which is one of the oldest mountain ranges in the world, and therefore some of the things here are centuries old, and we're going to lose it if we're going to start. The moment you put, so it's very interesting. If you look at tribal, indigenous ways of cultivation, they did not want to use the plow because it kills the earth, right? So forget plow. We're going to bring in these huge bulldozers and just dig it all up. Even if they say they're going to do compensatory plantation of 1,000,000 per one tree that they lose there, it's not going to work. Because that space is gone, right? It's just, you'll take centuries to make that again. So please join this group called the Aravalli Bachao Andolan. It is run by Dr. Susan's friends. They do amazing work they're the ones who stopped it. All this stopping which has happened is through legal petitions by that group. Please go and look them up, Aravalli Bachao Andolan. It's there on all social media. Just go and see how you want to contribute. Monetary contribution is also welcome because they have to pay lawyers. Right? So if you know environmental lawyers, send that to them. Whatever way you want to contribute, please. Otherwise, we're going to lose this.
Apart from bringing the native plants, they brought native animals also.
And they were nurtured in these two nurseries that you see here. So Gurgaon had a contract of about 10 years with Municipal Corporation of Gurugram, if I'm not wrong. So now when it ended, Hero Motor Corp has taken over. So they have taken their nurseries to their saplings to other sites that they are working. So yeah, these were the sites. Now we're back to this. तो जो इसका fruit होता है, it is like two twigs twisted together.
Okay.
So my road funny.
What is it used for? Nothing. Just a wild.
Right now I'm just on trivia.
Yeah, wild species.
तो आगे better.
अच्छा. Pomegranate these Mughals got, right?
They got successful.
And pomegranate was Babur's favorite, so he got it from Kabul when he came. पहले भी रहा होगा, but
Thin goat. तो इसका जो fruit होता है, it's like a tiny kiwi. It looks like that. And इसका cleansing property बहुत अच्छा होता है. So many Ayurvedic cleansers like face wash and all soaps, you'll see this.
Goat.
Yeah, and also इसमें इस जो fruit है उसको hollow out करके इसमें इसका वो बनाते हैं crackers like bomb.
Having a look at it immediately, the lesson number 1 of native trees covered. Insects, right? We'll see how beautiful it is. So what is this called it's called dhak. What else is it called? Palat. Palat, right? So what is the place in India and the background? Right? So Plasi. So therefore, as we said, the other thing that we know that is native is if you have stuff which has happened. So we have a whole place called Palasi, which is named after this tree. So it is obviously does well in north and north, that the whole Gangetic plain kind of thing. If you look at
No, it's all over Himachal Pradesh.